Okay, so the Feast of Tabernacles, one of the annual festivals which Christians are instructed to observe. We see those instructions in the Old Testament, but in the New Testament, we see that Jesus observed the Feast of Tabernacles. And Paul tells us in 1 Corinthians 11, he says, "Follow me as I follow Christ." So we follow his example. And we're also told in Colossians chapter 2, that these days are a shadow of things to come. In other words, we observe these festivals, these days, because they symbolize something. And what is it they're symbolizing? They're symbolizing God's plan, God's purpose, our very reason for existing, why we were created in the first place. And what the Feast of Tabernacles, which is a seven day period of time, what it pictures is the time in the future when everything will be restored. We don't have to look very hard to see what an absolute mess this world is in, and I think it's beyond repair. It's clearly beyond repair, and just like any restoration, things have to get a lot worse before they can get better, and that is going to happen. But after that will come a time of restoration and rebuilding and refreshing, starting with the return of Jesus Christ, followed by the removal of the god of this world, Satan, the devil. And it pictures a time of restoration of the creation to peace and harmony with God. And these days, they're actually reflected in the weekly Sabbath. For those who understand the observance of the weekly Sabbath, that weekly rest is our weekly reminder of this time of restoration, this time of peace that we can look forward to. It's a reminder of the time, that a time is coming of just rest from this endless conflict and uncertainty and hostility and just complete absence of lack of peace of mind that we have to navigate in this life constantly. And the prophet Isaiah in the Old Testament, he talks a lot about this time, and the way he talks about it, it's clearly something that hasn't happened yet. And for example, in Isaiah chapter 2 verse 4, it says, God will judge between the nations and rebuke many people. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nations shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And that time just can't come soon enough. And the Feast of Tabernacles reminds us every year that time is coming.